Hi, welcome back to Maths 911. How many of you did the maths challenge on Tuesday? The one about the train. How many of you do you think you've got the right answer? Well, I'm here this afternoon in the last few moments of the show to just help you along to get to that answer. Okay, the question was, a train is X kilometers long and normally takes 2.5 X minutes to pass through a tunnel, which is 1,500 meters long. Due to heavy rain, the train is forced to slow down by 20 kilometers per hour, and it now takes 3¾ X minutes to pass through the tunnel. What is the length of that train? Okay, the best way to describe this is imagine that this is your tunnel, and imagine that this is your train. And what the problem's really saying is that if the train goes through this tunnel, okay, it has to travel the length of the tunnel plus its own length. So when you look at the distance that the train takes to travel through the tunnel, you've got to take the tunnel's length and the train's length. And if you go wrong, that's because you didn't have the total distance of tunnel plus train as the complete distance. So let's do that. Right. First thing that we need to look at is units. Whenever we're dealing with problem solving, we need to look at the units. The tunnel was 1,500 meters long, but the speed was given in kilometers per hour. So there's a problem there. So 1,500 meters is just the same as 1,5 kilometers. Right, so we're dealing with standard units. If the speed is in kilometers per hour, you're either going to change that into minutes per meters or meters per minute, or then you're going to work in kilometers per hour. You've got to make that choice. Right, and the second part is that we have 2.5 X minutes. How much is that in hours? Because our standard unit is kilometers per hours. That is the same as 5/2 divided by 60 to get it into hours. So that gives us 5x/120 hours. Right, so if you got your kilometers and you got your hours, you shouldn't have had a problem with the question. So let's go back to our first page. So our first distance, remember the train and the tunnel would have been 1,5 plus the train's length, which was X. So that's a total distance. And the time that it took that train to travel that distance was 2.5 minutes, which becomes 5x/120 hours. All right, and so what was the speed of that train? Great distance over time, which is 5x/120. Right, and the second scenario was when the train slows down, same tunnel, same train, but now we have that it takes 3¾ minutes, which we change to hours, so we divide by 60. So that gives us 3¾ would be 15x/4 divided by 60 just simply gives us over 240. So that's all over 240. And so what is the speed now? Distance over time. Okay? And all we know is that the difference between this and this was when the train had to slow down. So therefore that difference, let's call this A, and B, A minus B is a difference of 20 kilometers per hour. And if you just substitute all those expressions in, you're going to find that the train is actually equal to 1 kilometer. For those of you who got it, well done. And look forward to next week's challenge. Right, folks, that's all we have time for tonight in terms of mathematics. Science Catalyst is waiting for you in the next few moments. So take a break and come right back to the sofa so you can do some science with us. For tonight, it's Dina saying goodbye.